You had some lineup changes this last game in your defense. So has it settled the way you're going to run your safeties? Is Harden getting some more playing time?
You know, I think that we're pretty well settled into what we're going to do, like we did in the last game, and you know, I think when we can get into nickel and play, that will be still part of our scheme, involving more defensive backs. But you know, I think that probably it's status quo.
You've also talked about wanting to control the running game with your running game. What's it going to take to get Jaquiz back to getting over 100 yards? It's been, what, 3 games?
Well, I think that what we have to do is get first downs and be able to build plays upon plays and get more plays, and then hopefully we continue to grow in the line so our running game becomes more effective, and that's a big part of running the football, obviously, is how we're blocking and how we're picking up stuff. And like I said, we've got a big chore that way. We certainly would like to have more balance and be more versatile in that regard this week than we were a week ago. We hit some good runs last week, but we weren't consistent with the running game, and we'd like to get back to that consistency.
Stanford's offense is a lot different than the 4 teams you've seen prior to this, all of which ran some kind of version of a spread offense. Going back to the defense, even though you said you're pretty much settled in with what you're going to do, what kind of different challenges is Stanford going to pose that you haven't seen so far?
Well, Stanford is truly a power running team, and we've seen everything probably but that so far. We've seen a lot of spread, a lot of shotgun runs, so we're going to have to play very, very physically and fast. They're going to be big, and so we're going to have to use our quickness, our rotation of people, and really stay after it, really run to the football, be very gap oriented, responsibility wise. We gave up some big plays to them last year, just kind of being out of position. So the position in the running game and then the tenacity of defense, is the combination of the two has got to be a major factor. We've got to get people to the ball because this guy is hard to bring down one-on-one, and so the more people we get to the party, the better we'll be.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Demola and what he's done for your team so far this year? Obviously, you needed someone to step in at receiver after losing Sammy and Shane, so could you talk a little bit about the job he's done?
Well, we lost 2 really good players from last year's team in Sammy Strotter and Shane Morales, and then we've lost a couple of guys so far this year in Daryl Catchings and Casey Chose. We have seen the growth of Demola Adeniji throughout our time here with him. He's continued to work hard and progress all the time, and he's now to the point where he is making that hard work pay and making plays, and I think he can still do better and better yet. So it's going to be very important that he continue to be a factor, that he helps us balance out our offense and make plays individually on that split end side of our offense. That's always been a place where guys that get one-on-one make a lot of plays, and he's got to be that guy, and I think he appreciates that opportunity and has taken advantage of it. And like I said, I think he can continue to progress there.
Mike, you were just talking about the running game and how it can get better. How would you grade the offensive line's improvement from the first couple of weeks to last week's game?
Well, I think that the offensive line has improved weekly. I think that we had our rough spots. When we went to Vegas and when we went against Cincinnati, and got better, until the meltdown at the end against Arizona, and then played better than that against Arizona State, which I thought was an excellent front that we talked about a week ago. So Cav is doing a great job with those guys. I think that, considering, the youth on one side of the whole line in particular, I think both of those guys are going to be excellent players, and they're doing a good job, and they're coachable, and they're getting better all the time. So, it's just like our whole team, for that group and our whole team, we've got to get better if we're going to win. And, this will be another step up in what we have to do in the front, because our offense is going to have to play a major role in defending Stanford, and so we're going to have a good game all around with our whole team, from kick coverage to our return game, to playing defense against a very balanced Stanford offense, and to moving the ball effectively on the ground and in the air. I mean, it's an all-around a game, as I look at it, that will need all the parts.
Mike, do you remember Jay Harbaugh being around Chargers practices and around and absorbing stuff? I mean, were you? I mean, I just find it curious that he's here now with Jim coaching at Stanford. So what can you tell us about how long you've known Jay, and kind of 10 years ago, was he absorbing all this stuff then?
Well, I think Jay was. I didn't see him a lot, but I knew him and met him. And, and then just through the years, Jim and I stayed in contact. So, it got to the point, actually, I think Jim was coaching maybe with the Raiders at the time, that Jay was looking for a place to go and wanted to be a coach and wanted to know if we would be interested in him as an intern. So that's kind of how it all worked here. And then it was about the same kind of timing, I think, when Jim got the Stanford job and Jay became a Beaver. So we're really proud to have him. He's a fine young man, and I appreciate the fact that he's here and working for us, and I appreciate the association we have with Jim. He's a great guy, and he obviously is doing a great job in that program, and it's one of the fun things about sports, really, that you can have these kind of connections, and like I said, we're proud to have Jay.
I've read about the so-called giant formation, where they have 7 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
I mean, how?
About 2,000 pounds worth, Paul told me, yeah. 2,080, yeah.
And run unbalanced stuff. What kind of looks? I know you're preparing for the other side, but I mean, when you look at them, what they're doing in their run game with unbalanced stuff and all those linemen, I mean, is it unique in this league? You see it anywhere else, really?
Well, I don't know that we've seen 7 offensive linemen, but the plays that they run out of it are basically their offense. They'll run the power, and just about everybody that has 2 backs in the backfield, if you look at Cal or even the Trojans, they will go unbalanced and run power, and then they'll run some stuff off of that. So you'll see their running game, but you'll see it a little beefier. Is basically what you'll see, and then you have to adjust always to unbalanced and what that means, and the good thing is we've got it on film. That doesn't mean you'll stop it, but and what they do too is they'll shift everybody. They'll have it unbalanced here, and then the whole line will move over, and so the center's actually lined up over here like a tackle, and then he becomes the center, and then they'll be unbalanced the other way. So they'll shift everybody. You might see that, and then they'll run their running game out of it.
How often do they use the giant?
Oh, I don't know how many times a game. A few times a game. Handful.
Sean Canfield's had really good passing numbers all year, but one of the things I noticed in the last game was a combination of your play calling and maybe his decisions. You guys really seem to take advantage of maybe an overly aggressive Arizona State defense. Maybe talk a little bit about Canfield and how he stepped forward this week.
I think Sean last week really played physically. I mean, he threw some balls and took some hits, and I think that he made decisive throws. And I think that we did a better job of getting a hat on a hat and giving him a little more time at times to make throws. But I think his decisiveness was the biggest difference last week.